Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And we are excited to have you along here, Ernie and Stephanie, for the next hour here on GMSA at 9. And we were startled in the last hour doing GMSA Plus. We were in the middle of our stream, and all of a sudden we were interrupted by the sound of
a storm. I mean, it was rain. We couldn't believe it because it was, at least in the San Antonio downtown area, it had been not rainy. So we're like, wait a minute, where did this come from? Our neighbors outside of the county were supposed to get the rain.
Yeah, well, we're so not used to it, right? When it rains, it's like a special occasion. It really is. So what we had going on, guys, is we had a cluster of storms moving to our north. But as it moves north to San Antonio, we're seeing some moisture feed up into it. And we're getting these what we call streamer showers that are kind of feeding into it. And it's giving us a few quick downpours here around San Antonio. The nature of this activity, though, is that it's going to last for about a couple minutes and then move right along. You're not going to get a ton of rain out of it, but hey, you know what? We will take every drop we can get. So there's the authority radar. A little closer look here at San Antonio. We're seeing some of these downpours out around Lackland. Another one that tracked right along 281. So yes, it'll be hit or miss, I'd say, for the next couple of hours with some of the shower activity. And I'll zoom out, and you'll see that big cluster of storms that is going to work north of San Antonio, but it is bringing some decent rain to places like Fredericksburg and Kerrville this morning with some lightning strikes there. So we'll continue to keep an eye on this. That's kind of the only thing going. Temperatures right now around 80 degrees in our forecast today. We'll call for a 20% chance of rain throughout the day. We actually have a little better chance here in San Antonio coming up tomorrow morning. I'll explain why and show you that futurecast here in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Let's look out there with the Chan's Guide cameras. Looking over here at I-35 at Splashtown. Things are looking good on that roadway. Also, I-35 at San Pedro. And for the most part, except for those construction spots, things are looking good. Well, this morning, friends are mourning the death of Jonathan Joss, who was shot and killed over the weekend.
So Joss was known for his voice acting in the animated series King of the Hill, as well as other roles on television. According to San Antonio police, it all stemmed from an argument with a neighbor on Sunday. Joss was shot and killed at his Southside property on Dorsey Street, where his house once stood before it was destroyed in a fire this past January. San Antonio police have arrested 56-year-old Sigfredo Ceja Alvarez for Joss's murder. Meanwhile, we spoke with a longtime friend of Joss.
There's a hole in my heart where he used to be, put it that way. That was from one of his songs.
So right now, SAPD is continuing their investigation, and of course, we'll bring you the very latest as we learn more. Oh, well, the June 7th runoff election is coming up this Saturday.
Yeah, pretty soon. So people here in San Antonio will choose their next mayor and the winners in 4 city council races. So if you haven't voted early yet, today is your last day, and our Devin Karp has more.
All right, I'm going to start off with a pop quiz. What's going to take you longer today? Going through a drive-through to get some of your breakfast or coming to vote? Well, over here at the Bexar County Elections Department, that answer is voting. Take a look at this. We have no one in line, and the polls have been open since 7 o'clock this morning. We know that turnout for some of these runoff elections sometimes isn't usually very high where it needs to be. As of this morning, around a little more than 78,000 people have showed up to make their voice heard for the mayoral elections between Gina Ortiz-Jones and Rolando Pablos, along with 4 city council elections for districts 1, 6, 8, and 9. Over here at the Bexar County Elections Department, there is polls going to close at 7 o'clock tonight until the election happening this upcoming Saturday, June 7th, from where polls will be open again from 7 in the morning until 7 in the afternoon. So if you want to come out to make your voice heard for the last day of early voting, well, you've certainly got the time. Not many excuses to say, oh, it's going to take too long, the line's going to be long. Well, it's doing pretty good here right now. If you'd like to learn more about any of the candidates or where they stand on the issues, you can visit our website, KSAT.com. But for now, I'm Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
All right, Devin, thank you. Well, since we're on the subject of the election, how much money does it take to be elected mayor of San Antonio? The campaigns of Gina Ortiz-Jones and Rolando Pablos have spent more than $1 million combined so far. That's according to the latest campaign finance report. But a variety of other groups are pumping in even more money at a level that local politicos say is unprecedented. Our Garrett Berger asks what this all means for the race and how far will this go?
A mountain of money has already been spent on the San Antonio mayor's race. At least $2.3 million and possibly closer to $2.9.
This is going to be an unprecedented level of outside money being spent to choose the mayor of our city. And I don't like it at all.
Rolando Pablos and Gina Ortiz-Jones have each spent hundreds of thousands through their campaigns. But a lot more has been spent on their behalf, especially Pablos's, by a combination of other groups. Groups that don't have the same contribution limits as the candidates and can raise and spend a lot more.
$1,000 contribution caps, that's a problem, and it should be higher.
The conservative PAC Texas Economic Fund is by far the biggest spender in the race, shelling out nearly $866,000 supporting Pablos so far. And while big chunks of the money going into that PAC are from San Antonio companies or well-heeled locals like Gordon Hartman, $500,000 came from a Massachusetts-based super PAC. Ortiz Jones's biggest supporting PAC, Fields of Change out of D.C., has spent $266,000.
We don't want outside people choosing who our mayor is going to be, but there's no doubt about it. They're going to have a lot of influence on this election. And
Laura Barberena, who ran Manny Pelaez's unsuccessful campaign for mayor, thinks the more partisan nature of politics in what she calls post-Trump times is driving this amount of spending in what's supposed to be a nonpartisan race.
We're almost fighting for the soul of San Antonio here to determine whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, and I think a lot of people want to be sure that their side wins.
There could be more we haven't found. Because of the way campaign finance reports show up on the state website, you often have to know what PAC is involved in a race. Then you can go look up how much they've spent and on whose behalf.
But the tally is likely to grow higher.
I imagine it's going to be upwards of 4 million, probably close to 5 million.
my guess, if you added it all up, just the runoff election will be north of $5 million. You've got all of these outside influences spending so much money. There's still a week to go.
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
All right, and obviously a little less time now, but when the polls close on Saturday at 7 o'clock, be sure to check out KSAT.com for the very latest election results and the numbers as they come in, and we'll learn together who the next mayor of San Antonio will be. It'll be one of these two right here for sure. So you have a few hours left to apply for a vacancy in City Council District 2. The current council member, McKee Rodriguez, is taking a temporary parental leave. Jalen McKee Rodriguez. So the city is inviting you to apply to fill in for that vacancy. Again, the deadline to submit your application is today at noon at the office of the city clerk at City Tower. You can head to sa.gov D2 vacancy for more information.
All right, well, here's today's 9 at 9. We start with oil prices surging this morning after Ukraine's weekend drone strikes deep inside Russia. So U.S. crude jumped nearly 3.5% to $62.85 a barrel, while the global benchmark rose more than 4.5%. So it is the first time in months that Russia-Ukraine war has triggered such a sharp rise in energy prices.
FEMA's new acting chief is raising eyebrows after reportedly saying that he did not know the U.S. had a hurricane season. While Homeland Security calls the comment a joke, some staffers are concerned. David Richardson, a former Marine and martial arts instructor, has no previous disaster management experience.
Well, the housing market is seeing a major shift. A new Redfin report shows that home sellers now outnumber buyers by nearly 500,000, the biggest gap in 12 years. So experts say that high prices and the rising mortgage rates are pushing buyers away. And in 31 of the nation's 50 largest cities, it is now a buyer's market.
The U.S. Justice Department is demanding California ban transgender athletes from girls' sports, calling current policies unconstitutional. It comes just days after a transgender high school junior won the state title in girls' track and field. School districts have until Monday to comply with the ban or face potential legal action.
Well, Disney is slashing hundreds of jobs today. The cuts hit multiple departments, including movie and TV, marketing, publicity, and corporate finance. So it is the latest round of layoffs since CEO Bob Iger returned to the company in 2022. But the cuts are just a small fraction of Disney's workforce, which stands at 233,000 employees.
Well, a surprising scientific discovery made at the American Museum of Natural History's planetarium. While preparing for a new show narrated by the actor Pedro Pascal, scientists spotted an unexpected spiral shape in the Oort cloud, a region of billions of comets beyond Pluto. Scientists had long thought the cloud was shaped like a sphere, but instead found a spiral with two waving arms, similar to our Milky Way galaxy. The discovery is now published in the Astrophysical Journal.
A medical breakthrough in Texas using fish skin to save a premature baby's life. Now, 3-year-old Ileana Devos was just 1 pound at birth when she developed a dangerous skin infection. Doctors used skin from Atlantic cod combined with medical-grade honey to heal her wound, making her the first preemie to receive this groundbreaking treatment. So today, she's a healthy toddler with only a small scar to show for it.
Wow. Good news for coffee lovers. A new study shows women in their 50s who drink 1 to 3 cups of caffeinated coffee daily may live longer and healthier lives. Researchers followed more than 47,000 women for 3 decades, finding regular coffee drinkers had better physical and mental health as they aged. But experts caution those with certain health conditions should still limit their intake.
Well, crack out the celebrations. It is National Egg Day. Americans eat more than 250 eggs each year, from breakfast favorites to baked goods, and U.S. farmers produced more than 93 billion table eggs last year, with Iowa and Ohio leading the way. So each egg packs a protein punch along with a healthy dose of vitamin D as well. So egg prices up or not, people are still going to buy them.
I feel like they've come down a little bit, so it's a little less painful to crack the egg, if you will.
Yeah,
but nonetheless,
not too bad.
You should celebrate responsibly today.
Yes.
9:08 right now, 79 degrees, and still ahead on GMSA at 9.
Well, San Antonio band about to make history performing at the D-Day commemoration in France. See why this performance means so much more than music. Next. Well, welcome back. Time is 9:12, and for years the Alamo City Community Marching Band has been performing, and now they have the distinct honor of performing in France for this week's D-Day commemoration. So our RJ Marcus spoke with some members of the band to learn about their background and this trip of a lifetime.
Their sound and music has been heard by thousands of people. And now they're on their way to France to perform at this year's D-Day commemoration. What's just kind of going through your mind as you guys get ready to go overseas?
It's so exciting and such an honor and so much pride and wanting to do this.
Before their trip, I spoke with 4 members of the Alamo City Community Marching Band, which was founded back in 2002.
They wanted to bring patriotic music. They wanted to bring music back to San Antonio, the surrounding area.
They're more than just a collection of musicians. They are family.
But I currently have 2 aunts and an uncle playing, my daughter, my son. My mom was in it, another aunt was in it. I love being able to share something that I'm passionate about with my kids.
For some members, it's reignited their love for music.
I'm passionate about all types of genres of music, and I said okay, so I never stopped. I came to the practice with my horn.
Started playing middle school, went to Edgewood High School, graduated from Trinity University, and I've always played music.
What goes through your mind when you kind of think about playing in this sacred ground?
It's a big honor, for us to be able to travel and honor those that unfortunately passed away.
It's going to be overwhelming, but I'm just so excited to be a part of this band.
I thought our biggest thing was like making the Flambeau Parade and doing King William,
What has kind of kept you sort of coming back year after year?
Just the love of the organization. We've had some good times, we've had some rough times.
When we walk in, me and my daughter will yell, "Hi, tia, 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 tia,"
it's a family, and we pull it together. We just, with the help of everyone, it works.
It does work.
Yeah, because the RJ Marcus is doing a good job getting the band together.
No, that's fantastic. And again, I think they're leaving later on today for Normandy and everything, so all the best to them.
Yeah.
What an honor. Okay. Well, speaking of honor, students in San Antonio just keep exceeding expectations.
So we want to give a shout out to a local journalism student at Roosevelt High School who won the 2025 Jimmy Awards Student Reporter Search.
All right, so Jose Antonio Morales was the only Texas competitor at the Jimmy Awards in New York City, celebrating outstanding high school musical theater talent. Morales is one of 10 reporters nationwide who competed to be a student reporter at the event. And you see a little sample of his work there.
Yeah, congratulations. That is great. Starting early.
Just don't come after one of our jobs. That's all not yet, at least. Please.
Just give us some time.
I have a family. Well, right now we have some rain to report here. 90 at Leon Creek. I know we're looking at some cameras out there, and once again, you've got rain to talk about.
Yeah, we do. The rain is coming down. I think we're going to go to SA Live first.
I'm sorry. I got all ahead.
I know
of
we're looking at all the cameras of rain. Did you see the rain, Fiona?
Yes, I did. How are you guys?
We're good.
We're good. I was just distracted by the weather. I'm sorry.
How are you guys?
We're good.
How are you guys?
AI.
Oh, no.
AI.
This is a recording.
It's National Repeat Day.
Oh,
watch out. Yeah. I know we might not get a repeat of that rain unless we had another streamer shower coming through. Okay. But that got us thinking. Of course, we tie it into food. Okay. Which food would you eat on repeat if you could just eat it on repeat?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah, that's right.
Biscuits or cream pie?
Oh, that's good.
A bold choice.
I do this anyway, Oreos. I can eat a whole sleeve.
I have eaten a whole sleeve.
Oreos or Oreos and milk, Justin?
Both.
That's
but
what, look at
usually
that.
just straight Oreos.
Yeah, I was going to say
so
they're
tall.
separate.
Yeah.
Separate times.
So many choices, Fiona.
Yes, so many choices. So we want folks to scan that QR code and weigh in which food would you eat on repeat, because it's National Repeat Day. All right, guys, we'll see you at the top of the hour.
All right, thank you.
Okay, there you go.
There are a lot of food that we would like to eat on repeat.
It's worth repeating that it's National Repeat.
I was like, is this an AI segment?
That was good.
Wait a
She had me
minute.
for a second.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, and she's right about the rain too. We're on repeat there. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
So this is 90 at Leon Creek, and I've been watching this TransGuide shot for about 5 minutes now, and it has been coming down heavily, and it looks like the construction crews are trying to hustle out there and pick up some construction. I will say this is a little bit of a surprise. We were thinking we may get some showers and storms today, but these downpours are feeding into that storm system that is just off to our north, and that's the situation. So let's go to the authority radar here, and I'll show you exactly what we were looking at there at 90 and Leon Creek. And you can see that heavier downpour that has developed right over that area. And that is giving that really kind of heavy rain for the moment, at least, as this tracks off to the north. It's right there where we're seeing that cell. And I'll zoom in a little bit closer for you. We'll get into street level here. So there's 90, there's 151, and this is moving up right to Holmes High School, if you're familiar with this area. And this, by the way, is tracking almost due north. So it'll come right up through this area. It's crossing over 151 right now, and then it will work up across Culebra, Ingram, and then eventually up to Ingram Park Mall area. And again, Holmes High School is starting to get some of that heavy rain too. Now these will be quick downpours for the most part, but you may see some of these heavier showers that develop, and this is all feeding into this bigger storm system, which is off to our north. So a complex of showers and storms, which has had some pretty impressive staying power, I might add. This started way out in West Texas, and it just keeps right on trucking. So our friends up in Kerrville and Fredericksburg, you're getting some light rain from this too, and probably a couple lightning strikes. You're hearing some thunder, some more welcome rain, honestly. Again, a little bit of a surprise, but we will for sure take it, and it's going to fall over some of the recharge zone too. So that is good. Bernie, as you mentioned, you're getting a little bit of light rain comfort, Sisterdale, and this will work over towards Bulverde and Canyon Lake as well. And then I think the steady rain stays north of San Antonio, but we'll continue to see some of these streamer showers, as we call them, or some quick downpours. Outside right now, yeah, pretty dark out there. We've got temperatures at 79 degrees here in San Antonio, and a lot of cloud covers, so that'll stick around for a while. And honestly, that should help us with temperatures today. We may struggle to get up to 90 at this point if these clouds stay as thick as they are, which, again, I don't think we're complaining about. 20% chance of rain. We're going to call for 93, but that's if we get some sun. If we don't, then it will be cooler than that. 20% chance of rain all the way through the forecast here. And then as we get into tomorrow, we'll see another chance for some storms, I think. Now, this is this evening at 10 o'clock. Not much there. After this complex moves east, we should see things quiet down. But as we get into tonight, it shows another area of storms coming in. This is around 5 o'clock, entering into the hill country at that point, right around sunrise, and then moving down into San Antonio. Probably dying down as it does, but moving down into San Antonio 9, 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. This could affect tomorrow morning's commute, so please keep that in mind. And then we'll see a couple of showers, mainly east of San Antonio, tomorrow afternoon. All right, so storm chances 20% today. Obviously, we're seeing some of that right now, and then a little better chance as we get into tomorrow morning. Your extended forecast, 92 tomorrow, with that chance for showers and storms. And then beyond that, it is dry, it is hot, it is yuck.
It is yuck.
Just got to say it. Is that a meteorological term? It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very formal.
Heat and humidity this weekend, but keep an eye out for some of those showers and downpours right now. Get another good drink here around San Antonio.
Yeah, that's good news.
It is.
Yeah, the rain looks good on the cameras. I think that's what we were all looking at.
I know. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
It is. Slightly distracted. But that, again, we're not complaining. It's a good
Yes.
Yep. Thank you, sir. Okay. More to come here on GMSA at 9. We'll be back after a break, so don't go away.
Welcome back. It's 9:24. So if you're looking for something to do this month, we have you covered. So here's a quick preview of activities that you can do in the next week. So you can plan for a trip to the farmers market or a free movie screening. So also activities for the kiddos in New Braunfels and high-level boxing at the Boeing Center. So we have the full list of things to do this month on our website at KSAT.com.
All right, you might need an indoor activity right now. It is 9:25, 79 degrees, and some rain outside.
Yeah, it looks good out there.
All right, still ahead.
Last week brought a lot of rain, though, and it had an impact on our rivers. Coming up, what difference we saw in the levels and how it's also good for business.
And 2 bills were signed into law after years of fighting for clean water in Wilson County neighborhoods. We're going to show you what it took to get to this point after the break. 9:29 now, so it's a rare conversation. An interview with a man accused in an armed standoff with police.
Well, John Herman said that deputy constables broke down his door unlawfully after he appealed his foreclosure to the Texas Supreme Court. Now, Herman described a 6-hour ordeal that then played out.
I had gone upstairs. I was on my computer. And they started banging on our door.
So tonight on the Night Beat, law enforcement who encountered Herman inside his home described the scene.
Well, she stood up on behalf of her neighbors and people like them across the state who were being told that this water was safe to drink. So private company CSWR owns the wells in 2 Wilson County neighborhoods, and when they did little to fix that situation. Carrie Wilcoxon called our Courtney Friedman, who began a 6-month investigation.
So that investigation led her and Wilcoxon to State Senator Judith Zaffirini, who filed legislation. 2 of her bills were signed into law. And considering what it took to get to that point, Courtney and Carrie had to catch up and reflect.
I am so proud of you. I'm proud of you. We're in the same room. We're talking about the same thing, but it's different this time.
Look, I'm actually getting goosebumps.
Oh my gosh, you are. I see them.
Laughter, relief, and exhaustion for Carrie Wilcoxon, who spent years fighting with private company CSWR providing dirty water to her neighborhood, months helping write legislation to hold water companies accountable, and days testifying for those bills in Austin. KSAT churned out stories while it all unfolded, updating Senator Zaffarini's office as they filed the bills and pushed them through.
I'm nobody, really. I'm not an organization. I'm not flushed with money. These water companies have lots of money. They have lobbyists.
And you still got the bill passed?
Yes.
2 of them?
Yes.
Senate Bill 1662, now state law, has to do with the state investigating water companies after a resident complains. The state is no longer allowed to give a water company more than 24 hours notice, preventing those companies from cleaning up the water before tests are even run, preserving evidence of any problems.
So they tested the water 9 days after I made my initial complaint.
Senate Bill 1663 mandates faster alerts for contaminated water, making sure communities are never unknowingly drinking dangerous water.
This was a no-brainer bill. It's necessary because in our case, we did have E. coli, according to the water company's letter.
We even got to ask the governor himself about signing these bills.
Texas must make an investment for generations to ensure that communities ranging from San Antonio to small little towns are going to have access to the water they need.
The heartbreaker this session was the last bill Wilcoxon and Zaffirini fought for, which would have directly affected the well water itself. It had support, just not enough time to get through.
We worked so hard on that bill.
Meaning she knows there's more work to do.
And people call me and say, you can't quit.
So you're not done.
If KSAT doesn't cover it, if I don't do my part, then who does? You know, you tried interviewing people that were afraid to get on camera. Afraid to get on camera for fear of retaliation. Somebody has to do it. So let me rest.
And then you'll be back next session. Can I get a confirmation?
Coming back.
But really, congratulations.
Thank you.
You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you.
And also the big news to separately come out this week has to do with the filtration system. So Wilcoxon and her neighbors have been pleading for CSWR to put back on their well. So Courtney was able to confirm that CSWR has applied for a permit with the state to install that filtration system. So it looks like it may actually happen.
That's a big win for the two Wilson County communities. Now, Courtney reported several stories about the filtration system, and if you want to see her other related stories, just go to KSAT.com and search Water Investigation. Well, this weekend, our Devin Karp, speaking of water, drove up I-35 to check out what the water levels were looking like at the Comal and Guadalupe rivers in town, and they're looking pretty good. Last week, the Comal River had 2 huge spikes correlating with the 2 storms, and according to the USGS, while the jump at the Guadalupe wasn't as much as the Comal, it is doing well. Devin spoke with a local charter bus driver who picks up people inner tubing up and down the rivers in town. And he says more rain means higher water, which means more business, because before this, things were not looking so good ahead of summertime.
I mean, I saw people out were just right here in that area standing in the water, and it was just up to their knees. So that's pretty low, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been so low, some guys are bringing like shortened up or adjustable canoe paddles.
Now, he also says that when the water is higher, that means people go down the river faster, which means they're likely to do it more than once.
Out there with live cam.
Might not want to do it right now.
Right? Wow. Okay, yeah, this kind of explains, what we've been seeing here this morning outside our station. We got some rain.
Yeah, another downpour coming through. This is 410 and I-10, so we're seeing some rain right there. And just to touch on Devin's story there, we have seen better flows. The Guadalupe and Comal especially, they're still below average. I mean, we still have a long way to go, but any improvement is great, and it's great for the businesses there. So good to see it flowing at least a little bit again. And hey, we're adding more rain to it this morning. Take a look at this. This is the Authority radar. And yes, we have some showers speeding up through the city of San Antonio. The heaviest shower is that one we were falling on there on the west side. It's now moving up into Leon Valley. So it's crossing over. It's past Ingram Park Mall, but right where 410 and Bandera cross, you're getting some pretty good rain there. And this is working up towards the medical center, and eventually will work its way up to the I-10 area there just south of 1604. Other showers, lighter showers on the southeast side, and then we look further north, and that's where the big area of rain is. And by the way, getting a nice little storm, or at least downpour there in the northern part of Bexar County. That's working north just west of Timberwood Park. But some lightning strikes for Kerrville and Comfort and Bernie, light rain there. And again, this is going to go into the aquifer. This is going to go into our rivers and streams. So good to see another round of it. There's another look at 90 Leon Creek. Still a lot of wet roads there as the rain was coming down pretty heavy earlier. Forecast for today, we'll see a 20% chance of rain. Obviously, we're seeing that right now, but we'll keep that going into the afternoon. Some sun later today, 93 is where we're headed. Later this afternoon. Coming up, we're going to look at the tropics. There's an area the Hurricane Center has flagged, believe it or not, in the Atlantic. We'll discuss here in just a couple minutes.
Very good.
Thank you, Justin. Let's look out there with TransGuide. A lot of these camera shots. It's just nice to see the rain out there.
Now we got wet roads.
Yes, but be careful with that. Do want to remind you about that construction at I-35 at Alamo Street southbound. That can kind of maybe hold you up a little bit this morning.
Okay, time to look at some business headlines again this morning with Maribel Aber.
That's right. Let's go take a look.
She's back again with us, so we didn't scare her off yesterday. She's going to join us again live from the NASDAQ exchange with a look at some business headlines. Good morning, Maribel.
Hey, good morning, RJ and Daphne. Let's start right here, though. Activity at U.S. factories continued to slow last month as uncertainty over tariffs grew. An index tracking factory activity was down slightly in May over April's level. The Institute for Supply Management, which produced that index, said new orders and inventories both shrank last month. But a bit of good news. New orders declined at a slower rate in May than in April. The report also found factories are spending more time making contingency plans rather than doing strategic work for their business. And economic uncertainty has more people making meals at home, as you mentioned there. In fact, the CEO of Campbell says consumers are cooking at home at the highest level since the early days of the pandemic. That's given a boost to sales of Campbell soups, sauces, and other items. Campbell says shoppers are focusing their spending on products that help stretch their food budgets. At the same time, consumers are increasingly more selective with discretionary purchases of items like snack foods. But we like to snack. Let's talk about one. Wendy's is giving away Frosties today. The occasion today, June 3rd, It's the 100th anniversary of the Goodyear blimp, guys. Both Wendy's and Goodyear, they're headquartered in Ohio. The fast food chain is helping Goodyear celebrate the blimp's milestone. And Wendy's says, unlike the blimp, this offer has no strings attached, is not full of hot air. To get a free Frosties, all you need to do is purchase a menu item at Wendy's Rewards app. Daphne, RJ, I mean, do we need another reason to order fries today?
I always will enjoy a Frosty, especially if it's for free. So yeah, you don't have to pull my arm on that
I
one.
want to ask you this. Are you the type of person who, I just learned this last year. Do you put your French fries in the Frosties?
No.
Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. Me and her.
Another reason.
Thank you so much, Annabelle. You're awesome.
You got it, guys. See you tomorrow.
It's fun talking with her.
I haven't had a Frosty in a while.
It has been a while for me as well.
But they're tasty. I just haven't now I have a reason to try to find one.
Yeah,
so,
just on San Pedro, close to the station.
I love it. Our Wendy's ambassador here,
Yes.
Stephanie Cerna. All right, 9:39 right now, 79 degrees. You are watching GMSA at 9.
Well, we have a recall alert that we want to put on your radar right now after the break. What you should do if your car matches that recall description.
All right, we are back with a safety alert that we're following. Several car makers are issuing recalls due to serious safety concerns. Brands like Ford, Nissan, and Chrysler are pulling certain vehicles because of issues with the steering, battery, and rear view camera. The NHTSA said that dealers will repair the parts for free. If you want to learn which models are affected, we have the full story right now on our website. Just go to KSAT.com.
In today's Tech Bites, a startup once hailed as the future of app building bites the dust. UK-based Builder AI has officially entered insolvency. The company raised $445 million with big backers like Microsoft by promising it could create apps with the help of artificial intelligence. No coding required. But now a financial backer claims the platform wasn't powered by AI at all, but by human engineers in India. Next, usernames are reportedly coming to WhatsApp. The long-awaited feature will allow users to connect without actually sharing their phone numbers. The change will bring WhatsApp in line with other messaging apps such as Telegram and Signal. Finally, a major milestone for an 80s pop icon. Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up has now surpassed 1 billion streams on Spotify. The song dominated the charts back in 1987, and Astley said he never thought the song would still be going strong after almost 40 years. Those are your Tech Bites.
I had just gotten that song out of my head.
It's back.
Yeah, it's back. We
back.
heard it on GMSA Plus on the stream earlier, and it was going away, and now it's back.
Nope, it's back.
Okay, it's back. Well, it is hard to believe, but it's already June, and that means we are halfway through 2025. So this halfway point is a good time to check in on your personal goals, including your financial ones. So it's time for a mid-year check, and here's ABC's Christiane Cordero.
We are almost halfway through 2025, and experts say now is a good time to check in on your financial goals.
I think a lot of people, set goals for themselves at the beginning of the year. And, life changes, things happen, and you've got 6 months under your belt to really see how things are different than what you expected.
Start by reviewing the goals you made at the beginning of the year. Make sure they're realistic. If you've had any major financial changes like a big car repair or life changes like a baby on the way, revise your goals to reflect your current priorities. Review your budget by comparing your actual income and spending to what you projected in January and evaluate where you can make changes.
Take a look at that list of subscriptions that you have and maybe, clear some of those out. Do you have credit cards? Do you have personal loans? Do you have student debt? Where are you going to prioritize your payments to make sure that you're making progress?
If your current debt strategy isn't working, consider refinancing options like a debt consolidation loan.
Oftentimes you can take debt that feels unmanageable because it's across, for example, a bunch of different credit cards at different rates, different minimum payments, bring that into one loan, have it in one spot, fixed rate, and really put yourself on a budget to be able to manage that debt down over time.
Consider rebalancing your investment portfolio if your allocations have drifted due to market changes. And assess your emergency fund. If your savings are below target, create a plan to steadily increase contributions.
I think it is important to prioritize having an emergency savings set aside. We often see as a good rule of thumb 3 to 6 months of living expenses.
No matter how the first half of the year is going, you can reset your game plan for the next 6 months. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Okay.
At the zoo.
Is it bath time at the zoo for the flamingos this morning?
Yeah.
Oh.
They're scattering.
Probably a nice little break for them.
Yeah, no, I have a feeling they're loving this weather. It's very tropical, humid air mass. This is right up their alley.
Indeed.
This is, yes. Not a bad day to go to the zoo, but if you do, grab an umbrella, just in case this morning, because we are dodging a few showers as it stands right now. Real quick, before we get into the radar, I want to talk a little bit about daylight. We're closing in on the longest day of the year. I myself am a fan of the long days, but let's look at some of the numbers here. So sunset today will be at... There we go.
Okay, I don't know the answer.
8:31.
I don't know the answer.
I couldn't remember off the top of my head.
But I did notice the sun out earlier today than last week.
6:34.
Yeah.
Ought to be exact. 8:31 sunset today. So that's 13 hours, 55 minutes of daylight. So our longest day, of course, the summer solstice is June 20th. Sunrise will once again be at 6:34, but the sunset will be at 8:36. That is 14 hours of daylight. That is our longest day. December 20th, just for comparison, our shortest day is 10 hours, 15 minutes of daylight. So just no, our days are, yes, getting very long at this point. As we look at authority radar, still dealing with some good heavy downpours here on the northwest side. So if you're watching us from Leon Valley, the medical center area, you are getting a good downpour. There's no lightning strikes for this, but it's just good heavy rain. This will slow down traffic there along Interstate 10, I have no doubt. But Fredericksburg Road right there, the rain is heaviest right over you right now. And this little cell is shifting north, and we'll move up towards Chavano Park, De Zavella I-10 area, and then further north towards Camp Bullis here over the next, I'd say, 30 minutes or so. Let's go ahead and put this into motion. Yeah, some good showers and downpours, as I said. That's kind of all there is now across San Antonio. We had some showers out east. Those have kind of died down, so it's just this little cluster here. And by the way, I will point out, right there over Helotes, even though you're not getting rain, you did get a lightning strike, and that happens from time to time. So yes, there still could be some lightning and thunder with this. Very quickly, before we go on here, I want to take a look at the rain rate just to see how heavy some of this rain is. Now again, it's very small geographically speaking, and it's moving pretty quick, so you're not going to get much rain, but there are some areas where the rainfall rate is actually quite decent. I mean, we're talking, let's see if we can get it to pull up here for us. Maybe, maybe not. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. There it goes, 7 inches per hour. So that is pretty heavy rain, even though there's no lightning and thunder with it. It's heavy. And then we've got those storms, lighter rain up across parts of the hill country where you're watching, if you're watching us from Bernie or Fredericksburg, you're getting just light rain at this point. Pretty steady rain, you know, and that's going to keep temperatures down some today. And this helps with the aquifer, and Kerrville, you may get some more storms too before it's all said and done as these storms work in from the west. We'll take it. Dark skies here over San Antonio, rain coming down, 79 degrees at the airport right now, 73 Bernie, 80 at Stinson. In our forecast today, a decent chance of rain here over the next couple of hours, and then we taper that off some. 20% chance as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures will still be in the low 90s, and then we'll bring the rain chances back up by tomorrow morning because we'll get another storm system, or a piece of energy, I should say, that's going to come out of the north. We'll get a broken line of showers and storms that will work down towards San Antonio by very early tomorrow morning, say 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Probably falling apart as it does, but we still could see some rain out of it, and this still could affect your Wednesday morning commute before things clear out some and most of the rain starts to push east by Wednesday afternoon. Very quickly, too, as promised, I mentioned the tropics are heating up. There's an area just off the coast of the Carolinas. The Hurricane Center has flagged 10% chance over the next 7 days. It's a low-end chance. But interesting that we're already starting to get things going here. We've just started. The Pacific's hurricane season starts a little bit earlier, and they've already had one named storm. They could get another 50% chance of development down there. Okay, water temperatures are warm too. Also wanted to mention that, so it lends itself to a busier than average season, which is what we're expecting. Those water temperatures here in the Gulf in the 80s, guys. So that is warm bath water, setting the stage for what could be a busy hurricane season. 20% chance today, getting a little higher chance here over the next couple of hours, and then tapering off. Then a 30% chance coming up tomorrow morning. We'll be here for you if anything else pops up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will enjoy the rainfall that we get today and possibly tomorrow because next week looks...
The faucet shuts off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Justin.
Okay, on to SA Live now. They're coming up at the top of the hour. We'll check in with them to see what's happening across the way. Fiona, good morning.
Good morning. All right, are you ready for some over-the-top sandwiches? The Wicked Witch is here, and Felisa joins me, and you have a brand new sandwich for the month of June, right?
We do. We've got our Rainbow Witch here. This is for Pride Month. We've got our red tomatoes, we've got our carrots, we've got our yellow peppers, our green cucumbers, and our purple cabbage.
Okay, and you can add any meat to it,
Oh yeah,
right,
so it is a vegetarian sandwich, but you can add any kind of protein that you would like to it and make it your way entirely. So you can make it truly wicked.
Yes, okay, and you did have a sandwich go viral. How many views?
Just over 1 million views, and it's a sandwich that you've probably done yourself.
Okay, probably can bring you back to your childhood or maybe just even last Saturday night.
Exactly.
All right, well, it's time for some new desserts that you don't want to miss out on this summer. Hey there, Jada.
Hey Fiona, yes, I am inside an SA Live favorite. I am here at the Tootie Pie Co. here in Bernie, Texas. Now I have seen that 6-pound pie on TV and I've gotten my opportunity to see it in person, and baby, it is big. And if it's too big for you to eat this morning, it's not too big for me to eat this morning, but if it's too big for you to eat this morning, you can have their empanada because it has the same exact filling inside. And I just want y'all to know that pie is my future food group. I am so excited about what we're going to be talking about all today, so you guys got to stay tuned. And I'm going to toss it back to you for now because I'm about to get to this pie right now, and I'm not going to be able to eat it cute. So I'll see you soon.
Okay, thanks, Jada. And that gets us to our question of the day. Which food would you eat on repeat? It is National Repeat Day. Scan that QR code and weigh in. I'm guessing for Jada, it might be one of those fabulous pies there at Tootie Pie. All right, well, speaking of repeat, how about barbecue repeating generation after generation? We are going to take you to the family smoking up a delicious legacy on the East Side. And a visual feast for the eyes. We've got a professional food stylist revealing some Italian recipes and culinary traditions with some really fascinating food stories behind them. All that and more when SA Live continues in just a few.
Well, here we go again. That song that was out of my head, back in my head. So we're talking about the old 80s hit that fans are just never going to give up.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. You're about to be rickrolled. Here's Douglas Hyde with today's Hollywood Minute.
Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up is now in rare company, having just exceeded 1 billion streams on Spotify. The song was a big hit in 1987 and got a huge boost decades later, of course, thanks to Rickrolling, an internet prank that tricks people into watching the music video.
My God, what a melody.
A new teaser trailer is providing a sneak peek at Downton Abbey, the grand finale. It marks the end of the road for the franchise, which began as a hit TV series in 2010. Downton Abbey, the grand finale, arrives in theaters in September. Looks like the twin suns may have finally set on Mark Hamill ever playing Luke Skywalker again. The 73-year-old actor tells comicbook.com that while he appreciates his long run as Luke, it's time for Star Wars to look to the future and focus on new characters. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
Don't go away, Luke Skywalker. All right, let's look out there with TransGuide. Of course, a lot of those shots we saw some rain, but things are moving. Just those same construction spots to be aware of.
All right, well, now let's look at the forecast. We do have some showers out there at the moment. We'll continue to see some off and on downpours this morning. I'll switch it over to radar real quick so you can get a look. Still seeing some heavier downpours, especially across north central San Antonio and then up towards Boulevardy. In fact, we're starting to see some lightning strikes up there. So this is turning heavier for us there on the Bexar-Comal County line. And some of this will work towards the airport. So some welcome rain this morning. And again, I think we'll have a little bit of a break in the action this afternoon and then perhaps another round as we get into tomorrow morning. We'll be watching it all for you. And of course, you can check that KSAT weather app as well.
We will be watching it closely.
Indeed. We'll be here along the way. All right. Well, let's watch SA Live right now and have a fantastic day.
Hi, guys.
Celebrating San Antonio with the city's #1 lifestyle and variety show. This is SA Live.